the sound of the didgeridoo. Everyone knows means that marketing as a foreign language is starting. Episode 132. Welcome to class, students. I'm your teacher. My name's Kellen. And Twitter CEO donating 15 million dollars to basic income pilot projects. That's Jack Dorsey. We'll dive into what that means. Converting WhatsApp into a profitable company. Facebook's moves to do precisely that. Facebook pledging to donate $150 million to build homes for the poor. That's cool. Twitter overrun by promoted tweets. Oh no. This is what happens when you try to make money. Snapchat announces $3.5 million in a creator fund for advances in AR. We're going to be in the Matrix in short order. YouTube gaming over 100 billion hours of watch time in 2020. So if anyone is thinking that we're not going to be entirely inside of augmented reality, within the next 10 years, I think you and I are in for a debate. Class starts now. Hi, my name's Kellen Kautzman. That's K-E-L-L-E-N, Kellen. And news.yahoo.com reporting that Twitter CEO donating 15 million bucks to basic income pilot projects around the United States. This from the yahoo.com article. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey just donated 15 million bucks to mayors for a guaranteed income, a coalition of U.S. mayors interested in starting basic income pilots. Several pilots are already underway, including a recent trial in St. Paul, Minnesota, a city where I lived in. Dorsey's investment will help additional cities like Pittsburgh and LA launch their programs. Starting in April, millions of Americans received a stimulus check, no strings attached, payments to alleviate financial hardship. To proponents of basic income policy, the idea sounded familiar. So we all know what basic income is. To be a little bit cynical, I know that Jack Dorsey is spending a decent amount of time in front of Congress, and he is doing what he can to promote the idea that he is a good person. This is just part of being a tech billionaire. It's kind of PR, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it is what it is. It's advertising. It is getting folks to perceive you in a different way, getting them to turn towards you, which of course is the Latin root of the word advertising, which is advertere, which simply means to turn toward. So now we're turning toward Jack Dorsey and seeing him do this good thing. So you cannot disassociate the PR from the thing. Now, the quality of living as a human being, as Jordan Peterson often elucidates in his many speeches, is better than any other time in human history. It's incredible what we have. We live like royalty, many of us. Our food options are incredible. The fact that we all have cars is incredible. The fact that we all have internet, it's incredible. I'm not saying that there isn't an inordinate amount of unreasonable and unnecessary suffering and that some folks don't have it better or worse than others. What I'm saying is, on a whole, I'm reminded of an interview of a gentleman who people were, I don't want to say complaining, but they were upset about certain farming techniques, that sort of thing. And this gentleman who was about 90 years old said, yeah, but you have to remember that when we were solving these problems, there wasn't enough food. And so the generations that preceded us solved incredible problems, like food shortage. And then, of course, they create more problems. This is just the nature of it. So will basic income eventually make its way into our lives? We have basic income for the poorest among us. We have government programs. So it's not as if this is some crazy stretch. I think it would be a stretch politically to have the rich receive basic income. Everyone gets it, right? Billionaires get it, So I'm no specialist in basic income. From an advertising perspective, I see this as, it's PR. It's good PR for Dorsey. And it also goes to show politically kind of where our heads are at, or at least where some of our heads are at. converting WhatsApp into a profitable company. This one from Bloomberg.com. All links to all articles are right there in the description if you want to read the full articles. On the final day of November, Facebook Inc. announced it had bought a customer service software startup most people had never heard of in a deal valuing the company at more than $1 billion, although it was the third largest acquisition in Facebook's history, slightly more than it paid for Instagram. Wow. So they paid more for WhatsApp than they did Instagram. That was back in 2012. The deal drew very little notice. In Washington, where regulators were actively pursuing antitrust lawsuits against Facebook and politicians condemn almost every move the company makes, the purchase of Customer Inc. was met with crickets. Interesting. But the deal's significance isn't clear now. It could be soon. Acquiring Customer is the latest in a series of expensive bets related to Facebook's $19 billion purchase of WhatsApp in 2014. Earlier this year, it invested in Geo Platforms, an Indian internet giant that WhatsApp plans to partner with on commerce. While not an acquisition, the $5.7 billion Geo investment was Facebook's second largest financial deal ever. Taken together, the moves add up to an investment in private messaging of about $26 billion. WhatsApp is huge. I am not a huge WhatsApper, as evidenced by the fact that I don't know what a user of WhatsApp is called, if it's called a WhatsApper or not. But I do know that a lot of my friends from China, they exclusively use WhatsApp. Weixin? I'm trying to remember what the Chinese word for it is. Can't remember. Anyway, and then all of my folks who live in like Venezuela and South America, they're all on WhatsApp too. So it is absolutely unimportant that I don't personally use it. It's very popular. And so I think that there is a decent chance that American politicians may shoot ourselves in the foot by aggressively pursuing breaking up of Facebook, as it's an American company, obviously. And all of these foreign nations, they're going to beat up Facebook as best they can, and they should. They're going to have to fight between their constituency, people in, say, England who say, we actually want Facebook, please don't destroy it in our country. Facebook obviously has a ton of leverage, and so at the end of the day, I would argue that that us trying to break up Facebook in the United States should be dealt with a fair amount of caution. But they continue to acquire, they continue to monopolize, the big players obviously being Facebook, Google, and Amazon. Facebook pledging to donate $150 million to build homes for the poor. Again, I can't help but see this as PR. Fantastic that they're doing it. I'm happy. Great. It's also advertising. It's just cause marketing advertising. Facebook Inc. said $150 million, according to the Wall Street Journal, of its previously announced planned investment of $1 billion in affordable housing will go towards homes for the lowest income tier in the San Francisco Bay Area. I want to say Facebook's headquarters is in San Francisco. But anyway, there's a big homeless problem. And I would argue that a lot of the folks that work at Facebook comment about it and say, why can't we do anything about this? The Menlo Park, California company said on Wednesday that this installment would be used to fund housing projects in 5 Bay Area counties that include units for residents making no more than 30% of the area's median income. These levels differ by metro area. In San Mateo County, where Facebook is based, 30% of the area median income is $52,200 for a family of 4. Whoa! Try living in San Francisco on that. According to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, that's similar to the Las Vegas numbers, Clark County numbers, about 50,000. Quote, this is extremely low income housing, which is particularly acute, which is a particularly acute need during the COVID crisis, and also an area which has suffered a lot from the underbuilding that we've had in California over the past several decades, according to David Weiner, Facebook's chief financial officer. So Facebook's going to come in. They're going to build a bunch of homes. It's interesting to me that large capitalist institutions sometimes operate similarly to how the government operates. This seems like something that the state of California is doing or should be doing. And then we've got Facebook coming in. So the powers that be, I think it's an oversimplification to say just let the market decide or just let government handle it. Obviously, there's a bunch of nuance here that would take an expert a decent amount of time to understand. Again, feels a bit like PR, but I can't blame them for it. They're doing it. Twitter overrun by promoted tweets. This is what happens when a social media platform grows and monetizes. TechCrunch.com is the article. Firebolt raised, Twitter users, Twitter's timeline is currently overrun with ads for some users in what at first appeared to be a glitch involving the distribution of promoted tweets. Typically, a promoted tweet, which is just a regular tweet on advertiser has paid to promote more broadly, will appear just once at the top of a user's timeline. Then scroll through the timeline like any other tweet. Now, however, promoted tweets are popping up with increased frequency. Some users report seeing them as often as every 4 to 6 tweets. Yeesh. In fact, others are reporting seeing the same promoted tweet more than once. If you are an advertiser, it feels like bad news for you, because if people are getting annoyed by the number of promoted tweets, it's going to increase what's referred to in display advertising as banner blindness, which essentially means you don't even see them. You just fly by them. I do that. You do that. Everybody does that. Back to the article, this seemed to have indicated some sort of issue with the ad system, as the company generally intends for promoted tweets to be targeted and relevant without being overly frequent. As Twitter business website explains, we're thoughtful in how we display promoted tweets and are conservative about the number of tweets. So is it a mistake? According to the article, Twitter says the change is not a glitch, it's intentional. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the crux of the issue. I have talked about how how a subscription-based Twitter doesn't have any benefit as far as I can tell. I don't understand what Twitter can offer for $10 a month, $5 a month that is going to incentivize me to pay that. Why would I do that? I did pay YouTube to get rid of these nauseating ads because it was ruining the experience, and YouTube's good enough that I would just want to continue using it. And so how funny that a social media platform that you love to use, can ruin itself by over showing ads, making it obnoxious, essentially. But you're already hooked, you're already in it. And then they can say, hey, you know what, for an ad-free experience, just pay us over here. So that kind of feels like the model. Quote, we regularly experiment and deploy changes to our advertising experience. This is from Twitter. We are constantly innovating and testing. Yeah, of course you are. So are there more ads on Twitter? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me one bit. Snapchat announces $3.5 million in a creator fund for advances in augmented reality. This one from socialmediatoday.com. With augmented reality glasses getting closer to reality, AR looks set to take a major leap in 2021, and Snapchat's seeking to remain at the forefront of that next stage with the announcement of a new $3.5 million augmented reality creator fund to help fuel the next advances. So there's an AR developer conference. Look, whoever gets this right, and I would argue that Snapchat is way ahead of everyone else. Almost all of the other social media platforms have really consolidated what they do. They're very similar to one another. Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, they're different cultures, which I've mentioned in shows before, but Snapchat really took on AR. And I think that's why they were so successful, and not surprising to me at all that they're going to try to be the absolute first and foremost when it comes to augmented reality. And I know Google has Google Lenses coming out, which will be very interesting. Again, Bluetoothing from the lenses from your phone. It's not, some bulky phone you attach to your head. That's ridiculous. That's like what do you call it? What was that character in Saved by the Bell? Zach? I think his name was Zach. Can't remember his last name. Anyway, there's a joke that he walked around with like a suitcase that was a cell phone. That suitcase cell phone is attaching a phone to your head, or any of the VR experiences that currently exist. It's so bulky. It's so ridiculous. They'll be so lightweight in short order. So back to the article, various platforms are working on similar ideas, with Facebook also looking to advance its AR tools in order to take the next step. I think Snapchat's got a big jump on them. So Snapchat has repeatedly proven its capacity for innovation in various forms, which should put it in good stead to compete with larger tech players. I think they're actually the leader, as far as I can tell. So Sophia Dominguez, Snapchat's head of camera platform partnerships. What? Camera platform partnerships. Quote, I think 2021 is going to be one of those years in which we evolve augmented reality out of this pure communication or social media use case into things that can actually make our lives better. Yeah. I think we're going to, in my lifetime, feel the same attachment to our augmented reality glasses that we do to our cell phone now. I think it's going to be one of those, at least for me, it's wallet, keys, phone, right? Constantly checking wallet, keys, phone before you leave or you go anywhere. And it's going to be AR glasses, phone, keys, wallet, or purse if you're into purses. So yeah, big stuff. YouTube gaming over 100 billion, typo here, billion hours of watch time in 2020. This from socialmediatoday.com. So the theme of the show today obviously is augmented reality and living inside the Matrix, which you could argue we live in a simulation right now, and I would agree with you. But a simulation perhaps inside of a simulation. Shahrazad, I think is the word in Arabic to describe that. Dream within a dream. If you're not paying attention to the influence of gaming on popular culture in 2020, according to the article, you're missing out on one of the most significant elements for the next generation. I would argue this generation, with gamers now becoming major celebrities in their own right and leading the way on the latest trends and shifts. Indeed, just last week, YouTube listed its top channels of 2020, which showed that 5 of the top 10 channels are largely aligned with gaming-related content. And this week, YouTube's provided some new insights into the growth of YouTube gaming specifically, which underlined the rise of gaming culture, which has been exacerbated further amid the COVID-19 pandemic. So COVID is really causing the entire culture to shift into this Matrix-esque inside the internet all the time environment. Politicians, I predict, will be calling for the internet as a basic human right. It's very rapidly becoming a necessity in our lives. Not insofar as you'll die without it, but you may lose the ability to feed your family without it. One of the reasons I believe that Starbucks did as well as it did was it provided people an office space for free. Well, almost free, $5 per session, basically. And that ability to basically live in a Starbucks makes the dollar amount that any individual, or at least an American, has to make per month relatively low. Because if you think about it, you don't even need internet at wherever it is you live. You need just the most modest modest shelter, water, and then food. I mean, if you do like bags of rice, you can live for an incredibly small amount of money and have internet access as long as you can walk to or get to a Starbucks. So the economy is just in a very weird place, a very new place. And it is unsurprising to me that YouTube is just absolutely taking over 100 billion hours of watch time for games. I personally spend a good deal of time on YouTube. I watched a lot of speed runs. I'm more of like a retro gamer type guy, Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Genesis, like that sort of stuff. And there's a whole culture for people like me, 36-year-olds who want to like watch someone kill a game that they played a lot as a kid. It's amazing. So overall, I'm very optimistic about the future. I know that's an odd thing to say in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic, but I really am. I think that the work from home revolution has changed the world indefinitely. I think the number of cars on the road has gone down significantly. I think we're going the right way in allowing people freedom to make choices about what they do with their own bodies. I think that's been really strong. And at the end of the day, I think technology, despite all of its setbacks, is driving us in the right direction. I feel confident about the vaccine recovering the global economy, helping to do that. And all that being said, I am very positive about the future. I'm positive about 2021, and I'm actually quite excited to be alive in this particular time. So this is the show. Marketing is a foreign language. Leave a comment. Help us with the algorithm. Even if you say, hey, thanks, or nice show, or cool, it's really helpful. When Google takes a look, when YouTube takes a look at these pages, it factors all this stuff in. So just taking that half second to hit the like button, leaving a comment is not only makes me happy, but it really helps the show a lot. If you want to email our company directly, Send It Rising, it's easy. Just info at senditrising.com. Shoot us an email about whatever you want. If you have any questions about website development, search engine optimization, pay-per-click, any social media stuff, I have the best staff in the world, and we can certainly help you. If you want a live person, you can give us a call, 702-263-0141. And then, chat during the live show. It makes me happy. It makes for a better show, a more fun show. It doesn't even have to be a question. It can be a comment. It can be whatever you like. I'm here every day, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. If you want to learn a little bit more about me, my name is Kellen Kautzman, and I have a website, kellenkautzman.com, that you can check out. And then just a bunch of speeches online, a bunch of podcast appearances that I've been on, that sort of stuff. And then, of course, if you want to support us, drive it in your car or listen to us on Spotify or iTunes, you can download the podcast there. If you are right now listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, thank you very much. We appreciate you, of course, as well. So let's summarize. Twitter CEO donating $15 million to basic income pilot projects. Feels a little bit like PR, but I wouldn't be surprised if humanity goes by way of basic income. Again, we have basic income for folks that don't make a certain quantity of money per month. They receive basic income. So the question is, where is that line? Are we going to push it up? Is automation really going to destroy enough of the economy that we're really going to have to explore this? Will this be a country by country phenomenon, or will it be a global phenomena? And why is Jack Dorsey leading the way? Okay, he's not. I would argue that Andrew Yang was leading the way on this, but $15 million is nothing to scoff at. Converting WhatsApp into a profitable company. We're going to continue to hear from folks talking about WhatsApp, Facebook, and trying to break up Facebook. And we'll continue to cover this as it evolves. Facebook pledging to donate $150 million to building homes for the poor. Good for them. It's also good PR for them. Twitter overrun by promoted tweets. Yeah, of course they're going to do that. Wouldn't surprise me that if in 3 to 5 months they turned around and said, oh yeah, if you want to get those annoying ads out of your life, just give us $5 a month and we'll just get rid of them. No problem. Snapchat announces $3.5 million for a creator fund for advances in AR. Get ready for it. Strap in, because AR is going to be ubiquitous. Any possible thing that you can imagine overlaid on what you currently see is going to be explored. And it is going to be a multi-billion-dollar industry. YouTube gaming over 100 billion hours, talking about augmented reality. There's going to be two different, I would argue 3 different realities. There's going to be reality as you know it now, where you're walking around, seeing things, hearing things that are actually there. There's reality number 2, which is augmented reality, where you'll be able to hear things that are really far away from you, because there will be advanced hearing technology. We covered that in a previous episode. Advanced sight technology, zooming in, zooming out. There's going to be advertisements all over the place, just plastered on literally blank walls. There will be filters where you can have like a graffiti world, a dragon world, whatever world you want, and all of these creatures and or objects are going to be floating around and interacting with you. And then there's going to be full immersion world, or VR world, where you're in a dark room and the entire thing is completely the Matrix. So this is where we're heading. Advertising is going to flow through the entire thing the whole time, because getting someone's attention is an innate human quality. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for swinging by the show today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yes, you. Yes, you, the listener who made it to the end of the show. You're the best. And we will talk to you. Well, I will talk to you, hopefully, tomorrow. You know what time. All right. Class dismissed.